So I think what I need to start doing actually is documenting more of the smaller things that I'm doing instead of just, I guess, bigger ones. So for example, what am I reading right now as far as Live Hard goes? So I just got a book. It's called The Power of Discipline by Daniel Walter. I've actually looked at this book a few times on Amazon, and it just had an appealing cover, but I just never bought it. I just, for whatever reason, just never bought it. But I got it, and I read. Dude, here's the thing. So with Live Hard, with 75 Hard, you got to read 10 pages, right? I don't count the page unless it's a full page, because I think that's right. So if the lines don't go from top of the page to the bottom of the page, if there's a gap at the very bottom, or maybe it's a title page, so it's got a big ass font and half the page is gone, that doesn't count as a page. And if it's a big long bulletin point list thing type page, I don't count that as a page either. And so I had to read 33 pages. Well, I think I'm on page 33. I don't know how many pages total of actual substance that was, but page 33, because so many pages were not full pages. And I'm actually segue into this. I'm taking a different approach to reading. I'm forcing myself to actively read. I got some highlighters and a pen, and I'm writing in the margins. And I may as well just share what I noted down here. So this book is by Daniel Walter. Like I said, it's a book on discipline, how you can achieve your goals in record time. Self-discipline is the key. And I've definitely discovered that myself through doing 75 Hard and now Live Hard Phase 1 for a second time. So I was reading through here. I found some points that I liked a lot. And this is the first time I've ever highlighted anything in a book ever in my life, because I've always wanted to keep them clean and free of any writing or any markings or anything. I just like that thought of having all my shit be in pristine condition. But I'm more intrigued with learning and growing and the growth aspect of everything. So if I can highlight some shit, make some notes in it, and then quickly reflect on it like I just did right now, and quickly found what I needed, then I can share it. So here we go. Discipline is about doing what you know you've got to do, even when you don't feel like it. But for your efforts to make a difference, you must be consistent. Consistency builds momentum, and that's how dreams become a reality. And so I definitely highlighted all that shit, and then I underlined consistency builds momentum, because I fucking know that to be true. 100%. Next thing I highlighted here was your level of self-discipline will control. All right, let's restart that shit, dude. Your level of self-discipline will control your God damn. Let's try again. Your level of self-discipline will control your level of success in your place of employment, relationships, finances, academics, etc. Why do I keep fucking it up, dude? Yeah, your level of self-discipline will control your level of success. Next one I got here is most people fail in life because they don't do what is required for success. Inactivity leads to one place, failure. And then I got some other ones here that I wrote in the margin. So a self-disciplined person is confident because regardless of where they are at the moment, they know they know that they are the best version of themselves. They're eating properly, exercising, and working towards their goals. They feel good about life because they are in the driver's seat and they know exactly where they are going. And I wrote on there 100% true, because dude, it is so true. I mean, I wouldn't call myself the most confident person in the world, but I'm a lot more confident than I was 5 months ago. And that's because I'm in the driver's seat, like this book says. I'm in control. I know exactly where I'm going. A person with self-discipline is always going to live by their word. And I wrote in here, be a man of your word. It's something that I am trying to do 100%. In the past, I was probably at a 90. But if I say something, I mean it, and it's going to happen. And I'm trying to be a man of my word in that regard. They value, so these types of people, they value integrity. These are rare traits. Integrity is the key. That's what I wrote. Next one we got here. Self-disciplined people can handle constructive criticism. In fact, they value it because it pushes them to become better. And I wrote, always seek growth. It's a no ego zone. I think that's it. Or there might be a couple more. May as well just share them. The fear of failure is why people don't like change. But the reality is that failure is not final. It's the end of the world if you do, it's not the end of the world if you don't get it right. All successful people fail at some point in their lives, but they use their mistakes to make better decisions in the future. And of course I wrote, the only way to get good at the game is to play the game. And I really hope I said that. Nobody else said that before me, because I like that a lot. Only way to get good at the game is to play the game. I actually think Alex Hormozy said that, some iteration of that. But anyway, holy shit, way to get off track here. That's what I'm reading, Power of Discipline. And so before that, I read How to Get Shit Done by Sean Whalen. It was a really quick read. And then before that, it was 12 Months to 1 Million by Ryan Daniel Moran. Before that, it was Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, which is an incredible book. And then before that, that was my 75 Hard Days. When was that? I think that was How to Win Friends and Influence People. And then Seven Habits of Highly Effective People. And then it was 75 Hard at the beginning of this, and then it was The Compound Effect. So that's what I've got. That's what I've been reading. So it's a little bit about the small details. And then, so, maybe I'll just, that's what this episode is going to be. I'm going to talk about the details of what I'm doing. So, what am I doing at the gym? So, at the gym, at the moment, what I'm doing is pretty much just 4 to 5 exercises of 3 to 5 sets, depending on the exercise, and I'll get into the details in a sec, of a muscle group. And depending on how much time I have left, I will throw in a supporting muscle group. So if I'm doing chest, then if I have time in those 40, if I have time remaining, then I'll throw in some triceps. If I'm doing back, then the time remaining, I'll do biceps, stuff like that. And so today, for example, I went in there and I did back. And I started with bent over barbell rows, reverse grip. Then I segued into, what did I do next? Then I went into, the fuck did I do, man? Oh, then I went into this pull down machine. It's a really cool one, EOS. That's how it's pronounced. Fitness. And then I went over to the cable pull down, did that. And then I guess I took over some guy's spot. I thought that it was clear, but I went and sat down, took the cable attachment off, and I set it next to me because I didn't need it. And I put a new one on, and the guy comes over and makes a big old scene, takes the thing, rips it out of or picks it up really abruptly, walks over to the other side, which is 5 steps away, drops the thing, throws it on the ground, takes his bag, throws it on the ground, unhooks the other thing, drops it on the ground, just being a fucking baby, dude. And usually that would have bothered me so much because, in the moment I was like, oh, hey, man, my bad. I didn't know you were on this. And he had his headphones in, didn't look at me once, didn't acknowledge me, didn't anything. He just was making a scene and throwing a tantrum because I sat on the lat pull down while he was using it, I guess. But, and here's the thing, dude. So that is my bad. Didn't see him on there, but but he came over, and before I could even say anything, he was already disassembling everything and moving it. But I did say out loud, and people heard me, I said, hey man, I apologize, I didn't know you were on this. Didn't look at me, didn't acknowledge me, but it is what it is, dude. So anyway, then I did lat pull downs. So we got 1 rowing movement and then 2 pull down movements so far. And then I went to the seated rowing cable, and then I think I did all of these for 4 sets. And then what did I do? I did one more thing. And then I ended it off with hammer curls. So I did a whopping 20 sets this morning. It took me about 47 minutes to do. And that's what I did. And usually I'd be following up some kind of program. So how I first started when I got into lifting 10 years ago, matter of fact, in 24 days, or what? Matter of fact, in 18 days, it'll be 11 years. Pretty damn close. So that's crazy to think about. But 10 years ago when I first started lifting, firstly, I went with my uncle. He taught me a lot. And then he got injured, so I didn't want to stop at the gym. So I looked up programs for myself to follow. And I found Jay Cutler's 8-week strength and size program or something like that. Did that one a few times. Didn't understand that you needed to switch it up and you can't just be doing the same shit 24/7. And then Then I tried Arnold Split. I tried just some very common workout programs back then. And then how I gained a lot of my knowledge in training was with Jim Stoppani's 12-week shortcut to size, the shortcut to shred, the strong in 8, or the shred, or strong in 8, the 5-3-2 strength. Did all of his programs, and that's where I learned how to actually design programs, everything like that. And so I did a whole bunch of those programs. And so usually I'm following some sort of program that is tailored toward my goals. And so I'm not going to go out there and follow a CrossFit program or a powerlifter program because those aren't my goals. I want to follow a bodybuilding and hypertrophy program. So I'll go out there and find one. Look at the sets, reps, weight, everything like that. See if it's a program that fits my idea or my training style. And of course, I'm not going to choose the same thing every time. Of course, you want to switch it up and try something completely different, even if it's not optimal per se, but just to get yourself trying new things and just doing things a little bit differently. Because even if you did, so if you take just a normal workout that you do, think about the workout you did today. If you were to do that same workout again, but just change your grip. So for example, if you're doing dumbbell press, chest press, instead of just pressing with your palms facing forward, maybe change it so it's a neutral grip, so your palms are facing each other, and then do that. And then maybe bring your elbows in, and all you did was just change the grip a little bit, and it's a whole different exercise. You can hit slightly different muscle fibers. And if you did that with every exercise, it would be an entirely different workout program. And that's a whole other thing in and of itself, is all the variables that you can manipulate in a training program can drastically change the outcome of the program. And that goes for grip, that goes for angles, that goes for, I was thinking angles with cables, but angles on the bench press, angles with the benches and different kind of exercises. It can be with the weight, the rest time, the sets, the reps, the intensity techniques. There's so many different variables. How long you do these things, how soon before you rotate the exercise out, Dude, I'll have to dedicate a whole show to that. It's something I could talk about forever. Love that shit. So anyway, that's usually what I follow for a workout program. But as I've been on 75 Hard and on LiveHard, I've made the workout up as I go, and it's been working pretty well for me. I think I would like to get back onto a program, and so I need to make the time to find a good one out there, because it's much easier for me to follow somebody else's program as opposed to my own. I just feel better that way, but I don't know. So that's what I'm doing for my workout. That's what I'm doing for reading. Water is just water. Photo is just a photo. Diet, I haven't talked about this too much, but pretty much it's very simple, but it's just difficult because I hate eating, and it's hard for me to try and eat so much food in a day. And right now it is eat 3,250 calories and 225 grams of protein per day. And then however the fats and the carbs make themselves up, that's fine. And I've noticed that I actually eat in a way where my fats generally stay below 100 and my carbs are almost 500. So I'm going above the 3,250 mark for calories sometimes. But when those days do happen, I've found that it's either because I had some kind of protein bar or a Cliff Bar or something like that, or maybe I even had two, and so that's where the extra 500 calories or something come from. And so that's why I'm over. And I don't track anything. So I track on MyFitnessPal. But I don't track anything that's not food, I guess you could say. So what I mean is that if I put some mayo and mustard on my sub sandwich or something like that, I don't track that. It's just I would rather force myself to eat food and get those calories from food as opposed to sauces or condiments or something like that. And then there's certain condiments I would consider a cheat. And then there's certain, so for example, no soda either. So any kind of soda or diet soda I consider a cheat. I don't consider energy drinks a cheat though, because if you look at the formulas and stuff, it's essentially just a pre-workout depending on the one you take. And it's got the caffeine, zero sugar, zero calories, zero everything. I do not consume any kind of junk food whatsoever, any kind of stereotypical thing that you think of. So pizza, chips, ice cream, Pop-Tarts, candy, sweets, chocolate, shit like that. I don't even allow myself a protein cookie because it's a cookie. And yeah, it's a dumb argument because I eat a protein bar, and those are just rectangles as opposed to circles, which are cookies. But it's just, I want to complete the program with a clear conscience, and I'm not going to be able to do that if I had something that I wrote down that I said I could not have. So stereotypical junk is out. I must track everything that I eat. If I don't track, then it doesn't count. And so, for example, if I had a full day of eating and I went to a buffet and had nothing but clean food, but I didn't track it, I failed, because as far as I'm concerned, I had 0 calories that day. So that's the diet. I think that's pretty much it. When I did 75 hard, it was 3,000 calories with 200 grams of protein, and I did phase 1, failed that, but is what I'm at now. And so now that's 3,250 with 225 protein. And so I think when I do phase 2, I might up that to 3,500 and 250 protein. But I'm looking in the mirror, I'm seeing the results. It looks like I'm gaining a little bit of fat, which is crazy because I'm working fucking hard. I'm doing a lot of activity, so I don't know how I'm gaining fat, but we'll take it, man. I'm getting size and strength back, and I don't give a fuck, and I don't plan on cutting anytime soon. So time to get big. So that's the workout, or that's the diet. I think it's it for the diet. I don't think there's anything else. Just no shit whatsoever. That's that. So what else we got? So for the cold shower, I'm taking that right after the ice bath. So here's the thing, and I've talked about this before, but where I'm at right now, the cold shower isn't that cold for me, and it's not a challenge for me. It's not difficult. Well, it's not that it's not difficult, but it doesn't present a true challenge. I don't feel like I'm gaining much from doing them. So I force myself to do an ice bath and then a cold shower. So the cold shower is still getting completed, but it is directly after an ice bath. And so it's kind of like 10 minutes of cold exposure there. And so by the time I'm done with it, I'm very cold, and it takes me a little bit to get warm again, which sucks. But yeah, so I take a cold shower, and that's fine. Today it was great. It was a good cold shower, actually. I felt good afterward. So 10 minutes of visualization. What I'm visualizing is things like owning a Lamborghini, who's in the passenger seat riding with me. You know, I think this one is a repeat for me, but I always think about me sitting at the dealership, my wife right beside me. The guy comes over, the salesman, slides me a piece of paper, slides me a folder or whatever. It's got the key to the Lamborghini, and he says, "Here you go, Mr. Sessions." And then he hands me the shit. I pick it up, hold it in my hand, and he says, "Follow me." We walk over to my car, and we see it there. And then I look over at my wife, you know, because I'm fucking teary-eyed because I did this. I achieved this monstrous goal. I bought a fucking Lamborghini. I look over at my wife. She looks at me. She says, "I'm so proud of you." And then I look back at the car. Maybe I unlock it or something like that. And then from there, it's kind of where that vision ends, you know. And other things with the car is just who's driving with me, who am I picking up, who, you know, look on people's faces when I pull up and they can get in there, or, you know, driving my little brother around, shit like that. And I can't wait, dude. That's so sick to think about. And if it's not the car, then it's definitely some kind of me playing with my kids, or some kind of goal with a house and a big ass kitchen island, or a nice entryway, or a nice freshly mowed lawn, or coming home and my whole family's, you know, my wife and 8 kids, they're all hanging out doing their thing, and they come over to me, you know, and I don't know. That's the shit that I visualize about. It's really cool. And then there's a lot of other things. Actually, there's a few, not a lot. There's a few other things that have been personal ones that actually made me cry, dude. So that's how I know I'm doing it right, which is cool. First time doing it, made myself cry. And then what else we got? So for the 3 additional tasks, the first time was the podcast, the gratitude, and writing. Podcast, writing, gratitude, and stretching. That's what it was. But I fucked myself because those take so much time. So I tied in writing and the podcast into one thing. So it took about an hour and 20 minutes-ish. And then I did stretching for 20 minutes. And I did the podcast for at least 20. So it was almost 2 hours worth of tasks if I were to do them flawlessly back to back without a break. But now, on this second round of phase 1, they are the gratitudes again. I have to get out of bed within 5 minutes of my alarm going off, which is actually such a fucking hack I've discovered. If you get out of bed immediately, I feel like it wakes you up a little bit better. You get the extra time in the morning rather than snoozing and sleeping in. You get that extra time, and it feels good to just get the fuck out of bed and get moving. And in the moment, it sucks. It's like, damn, I wish I could stay in bed. This is cozy and warm. Now I'm cold. It sucks. But it is such a hack. And so I would recommend everybody do that. In fact, I'm gonna add that to the Founders Formula right now. Founders Formula. All right, it's not loading. That's great. Founders Formula. Okay. Make bed. Get out of bed within 5 minutes of alarm going off. Boom. So that's part of the Founders Formula now, dude. Lakers are up by 20 at the end of the third. Hell yeah. All right, what else? What else is there? So the gratitudes, the get out of bed, and then there is all the work on the business. The work on business is to write an Instagram post. So I'm writing Instagram posts, or social media posts, I should say. But half the time what I'm writing can also be taken as something to be put on a website or some kind of something that could be on a label. So they're posts for social media for sure. And I've actually found that I'm kind of repetitive, but that's okay, because just because I'm writing them for social media doesn't mean I'm going to post every single one without first looking at it again. So I'm just kind of getting the reps in with writing content for the brand. And then the other thing is research one ingredient and write a little bit about it. The dosage it is recommended to take for the desired effect, and then how long before the thing that you're trying to improve on, such as workout, how long before you work out do you want to take the ingredient. And so that's that. And then after that, I write a super tiny, this is what I did today, a summary of the day's work, right? So I go on there, looked into Dynamine today and found that it was this, that, blah, blah, blah. Found out that this and that. I also wrote an Instagram post about how we're not for everybody and how that our message is definitely for a very small minority of people because blah, blah, blah. And we're arguably setting ourselves up for failure and blah, blah, blah. And actually, that was a lot more detailed than what I actually write, but that is the gist of it. And if there's anything else that I want to get done, I have to declare it. And once I declare it, I must get done or I fail. And I have only declared a few things because I really haven't had much that I wanted to do. That's a lie. I've had a lot of things that I want to do, but they're not really important at the moment. I want to design the logos and the labels and all that shit, but it's not important right now. What's important is getting the numbers right, the strategy right, and all that. So, and that's the program right now. What else are we missing? Book, workout, reading, diet. Yeah, no cheat meal, no alcohol. That's not a problem. Photo, visualization. Yeah, that's it. So that's kind of what I'm doing for the program. So, moving forward, though, I think what I want to start doing is start the podcast off with a win or 2 wins for the day and a loss for the day or something like that. Because I'm supposed to be documenting everything and I want to get back to that. I want to focus on doing that more. And I know that the first 100 episodes might be a little bit different with the format and everything. I mean, we're at 25 minutes. And if this was after episode 100, we probably would have stopped after 6, Because it's just supposed to be a daily small little documentation, not supposed to be a big, long, sit-down, professional-sounding quality podcast. That's just the goal. So, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end that there. That's what I do. That's what I'm doing for LiveHard. And it's pretty sweet, man. I feel very accomplished. I feel very good about everything that I'm doing. I feel very confident. And it's a great feeling. So if you haven't done LiveHard or 75 Hard, I would highly recommend you get on the program ASAP, because it changed my life. And it's always so corny and people say that shit, but I mean it. It changed my life. So, all right, guys, that's it for the show. I do want to say, though, after this, I end this one. Only thing I have left to do is work on the business, stretch, and then brush my teeth, and I'm done. And it's 7:49. So, not going to be on bed on time again, but it's a lot sooner than we have been. Usually we've been going to bed like an hour and a half late, which is not good. But fuck yeah, dude. Making progress and improving. So, guys, that's the show. Thanks so much for listening, and I'll talk to you next time.